Meet Scarlett.
Hello everybody.
What do you think you've learnt most from experiencing anxiety?
I think, I don't know, because it's very hard to because I feel like it's sort of like always there,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's kind of hard to not let it like take over.
What do you feel is really tough about being a young person in today's society, being a young woman?
I think there's like a lot of pressure to, I don't know, like with other people, you constantly feel like you're comparing yourself to other people and like you want to be like them. So like pressure for like from social media, from your peers, even from like parents and teachers, like it's like with like exams and like school and stuff, like you always want to be good, or you feel like you're going to let down people, or on social media you feel like you need followers to make you feel like validated by people, because if you like, I don't know, don't get 100 likes on a post, you're going to feel like upset, you're going to be like nobody really cares and stuff like that.
And is that do you really feel that then? Is that something that you really experience?
Yeah.
So if you post something, we're going to talk about social media actually, so maybe we'll come back to that. But there's this feeling of needing to live up to people's expectations.
Yeah.
And if you feel that you don't live up to people's expectations, how does that feel?
It makes you feel like, not that you don't matter, but like you're kind of not like in with people, or like you're not, I don't know how to explain the word, but you're not like valid in society, and like
just get forgotten about.
Yeah, exactly. Like people won't, like in a conversation, you don't think anyone's gonna like personally ask you a question or like ask for your opinion, because they feel like they're not gonna actually
value it.
Yeah. Or they'll just brush it off, whatever you say. They're just like, oh yeah, that's nice, and then just go on to another topic. Yeah. So
what is it, do you think then there's this sort of status of when you're young? I mean, there's status in society, we know there is, right? And status actually within communities is an important thing, but it's not about being better than, it's just about having a place and a position, you know, and it's like the same in the workplace. Do you feel that, I mean, because you're quite quietly and softly spoken, do you feel that that's an advantage or a disadvantage?
I think it depends on the people you're around, because with some people, they're like very outspoken, they'll say what they want, and then you'll get like, not feedback, but other people will be like, oh, she's a bit annoying, like she just says everything, like she doesn't let me get a word in a conversation, she's just too chatty, or she talks so much shit about this person and this person, and like it's just not needed. And then other times you'll be around people who are like that, who are very chatty, and then they'll be like, well, why aren't you saying anything, you're boring, you have nothing to like put into the
And does it make you feel boring?
Sometimes. It depends. I guess it depends on the person who's saying it, because if it's someone who like I really care about and I value their opinion, then I'll think like, well, then it actually means something, like
of course
they really think it, and like they don't like think that I should be like that, I need to change and stuff. But if it comes from someone like, I don't know, maybe like a comment from a random person online, like it doesn't really matter that much, because I don't know who they are, and I don't really care, to be honest.
So do you feel like you can separate the feelings then when it is from someone that is quite random? Because that's quite tough for some people. They still take it on board even though it is someone completely random.
I think sometimes it sort of depends on how many people are saying it, like what they're saying about you. Because sometimes like I'll take comments from people and then sit at home and like obsess over it and like try and figure out why they've said that, like just think about it all the time. And like if it's like I've heard it more than once, then it will be worse, and I'll think like everybody thinks it, like you need to change and stuff.
But we turn it into something much bigger, don't we? It escalates.
100%, when really like their opinion doesn't actually matter that much.
Well, when we break it down and rationalise it, but it's hard, isn't it? Because emotion gets in the way.
Exactly.
So as soon as we start to allow ourselves to feel something, that's when we become emotional about it. As a young person, as a young woman, do you feel that people like of not my age necessarily, but also of my age, but teachers and people in authority, do you feel like they see you and hear you and give you enough respect and make you feel there's a kind of equality, or do you feel different to that?
I think there's like equality, like to an extent with, well, it depends, because now that I'm in A-levels, I do feel a bit more like I don't have to be in school every day if I don't have a lesson. Like, I'm allowed to go out for lunch, I'm allowed to use my phone in the building. Like, they don't really like ever tell us off about
so don't
stuff.
Micromanage.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get a bit more autonomy.
Yeah, but
and trust.
Yeah,
because it is about trust.
Yeah, 100%. But in secondary school, I don't think that it was like that at all. And I definitely think like with some subjects, they're very like, because it's all like exam based, they're very adamant on the fact that they need to get their results to get more people to come to their school. So it's not actually about like how you feel. Like, some people are not academic at all.
No.
Like my cousin, like I think like failed most of his exams and stuff, and like nobody, like the school never really like came to him and was like, do you need extra help, like do you need this, do you need that, like we can help you. Like, they just sort of brushed him off and stuff. But whereas with like other people who are really academic, you can see quite clearly that they get a lot of praise from teachers and stuff because they're doing really well in the class. I also feel like with school as well, with especially with GCSEs, I heard it about 50 times, they always say like these grades are what gonna get you your future. Like if you do bad, like you're gonna have a bad job, you're not gonna be able to do this, you're not gonna be able to
scaremongering, isn't it?
Like, and then that puts an extra added pressure on top of all the revision you have to do and the pressure and anxiety that you have towards the exams in the first place. So
which that's enough in itself.
Yeah, exactly. So it just adds that like extra sense of like, oh, if I fail this, I'm going to be homeless, or
you're just never going to succeed.
Yeah.
There's no place for you in society because you didn't pass your exams.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so go back to the social media thing. Social media itself, what platforms do you use the most?
Definitely TikTok and Snapchat.
Yeah.
100%. I do use Instagram quite a lot as well, but mainly it's those two.
Yeah. So I love to share information. So what better than social media?
Yeah.
But I also understand that there are a lot of negatives. I can process those now and I can separate myself from social media. What do you think are the negatives for you?
I think, again, there's like a lot of pressure from like for everyone, because you feel like you have to be like this beautiful person for people to actually like you,
notice
your TikTok page or notice your Instagram. And like you feel like if you don't have like a lot of followers, then it's just like, well, you're not living up to that beauty standard and you don't look good or whatever. So I think that definitely is a lot of pressure. And like also the fact of like, if I don't know, someone was to post a TikTok who was my friend and they got like 1,000 views and like 200 likes, and then I posted one, it only got like 600 views and like 50 likes, I'd probably be like, oh, I'm not as good as them. Like, and then like even with some people like stalking like beautiful models' pages to see what they're doing, so then you try and like copy it to make you like look like them or like act like them. So in the fact of like, you might think, oh, if I do this, I'll get more followers or something. So there is a lot of pressure.
And it's futile, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, you can't be like them.
Yeah.
There's only one Scarlett.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's only one Isabel.
Yeah.
And our uniqueness is the only thing that we've really got to take to the world. And you know something, there'll always be someone more beautiful and there'll always be someone less beautiful. But as long as you're a kind and compassionate person, that's the beauty you take out to the world.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always going to be someone with a better bum. Always going to be someone with better muscles. I mean, it's inevitable, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And you think about all the girls that must look at you and think, oh my God, I want to look like that. And yet we're doing the same.
Yeah.
So it is totally futile. But it's really hard when you're young because you're surrounded by it.
Yeah,
it's just everywhere.
Yeah, I think like also with like parents, because when they were younger, like social media wasn't a thing, so some parents don't actually understand the like pressures of it. They'll just think like, oh, just turn the page off.
Turn it off.
Just get off of it. But the thing is with social media, it's so addicting that I could literally spend like 3 hours just scrolling on TikTok, watching these stupid 15-second videos over and over again and not actually realise how much time has passed.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked the other day about attention span, didn't we? How social media has crushed and diminished our attention span.
Yeah,
we literally have lost the ability to concentrate on anything for more than 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's quite hard, like even when I'm trying to study as well.
Yeah.
Like it would be, so I use my phone for like research and stuff for my A-levels, because like the iPad we have at home is rubbish, so it doesn't actually.
But there you go, it's in your hand, you're using it.
And then once I've searched that up and written it down, I think, oh, I've done a bit of work, let me just have a 5-minute break.
I do exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, but do you give yourself like blocks? I go, right, I'll do 15 minutes or half an hour, and then I'll give myself the reward of a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
So that's good, because then that means that you're controlling it a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially with revision, because it's just too easy, isn't it, to not do it?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll just think like, oh, if I don't do this revision now, I'll just do it later.
Yeah.
And then it will get to the point where it's like the day before the exam and I haven't looked over this specific thing, and I'm like, oh God, what have I've just wasted my whole evening doing nothing.
Yeah, I know. What do you think is most likely to hold you back in life?
I think probably like the fear of what other people think.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's probably just like personal to me, but I don't know how other people feel. But for me, like I'm always thinking like, I guess it's like linked in with anxiety that I have. It's like, if I do this, like someone's going to think, oh, what the hell she's doing, and then I'm not going to be able to like I'm not going to be able to do it. They're not going to want me there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, because in literally every single one of my parents' evenings since I was in like reception has always said the exact same thing. Like they've all said, oh, we wish Scarlett would put her hand up more in lessons and ask more questions or answer things more. But when it gets to it, even I still feel it now, like when it gets to it, I can't, because I just feel like the embarrassment or the fear that I'm going to get it wrong just takes over me, and then I just think it's better to let someone else do it. And then like I'll sit there and I might have the answer in my head and I'll say the exact same thing, and then the teacher go, yes, well done, and I'll sit there and I'll be like, oh, I probably should have just put it up. But even if I know the answer is 100% right, like it's just that thing in the back of my mind saying like, oh, what if it's wrong? Everyone's going to be looking at you and thinking you're stupid because you got a question wrong.
Did that ever happen to you? Is there a memory of that happening to you? And it's feeling humiliated.
Not that I can fully
feeling
remember.
like you failed.
Yeah, not that I can like fully remember, but I guess that it was just like, I don't know actually, but yeah, I think it's just a fear of mine.
Fear is debilitating.
Yeah, it's even like when, I don't know, like when I've been invited to go somewhere, and it could even like, it would be the right day, the right time, but as I'm like walking up to the place or like just about to go there, like I have to recheck the email or the text message they've sent me about 50 times to make sure that it's 100% correct and I'm there at the 100% there at this right time, because I always think like, imagine you just turn up and they're like, what are you doing here? This is supposed to be next week. Like, go home, and then going home and being just really embarrassed. Like, what have you done?
Yeah, I've had dreams about stuff like that, actually. And being naked. Turning up and then suddenly I'm at the door naked. I'm like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly.
So fear is the thing that holds us back. Fear 100%. Of not being good enough.
Yeah.
Fear of failure.
Yeah, fear of failure is a big one.
Fear of failure is massive.
Yeah, it's like I admire people who just so resilient that they can just do things and not worry, like if they get it wrong they'll just carry on and just be like, oh, it's fine, I'll just do better next time. Because I feel like with me, like when I get things wrong, like I'll obsess over it for like literally days, and I'll think like, oh, I'll have to wait for a while before I do that again, or I'm going to get it wrong, or like I really have to think about it next time because you didn't do enough thought or what.
Where does that where do you feel that the most? In your sport, in your studies, in the classroom? Where do you feel it the most?
Probably like Probably in the classroom, because I always remember this one time in my economics class, because I've not been the best at economics, but
it's a tough subject.
Yeah, because I've never done it before, so and I should probably just stop beating myself up about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't sweat it.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Like I put like because the teacher's style in my school is like not many people really put their hand up. The teacher usually like picks on you and makes you answer the question. And I tried to answer this question and I got it like completely wrong. Like it was like completely the wrong thing, not even right one bit. And then the teacher like went okay, and then went to someone else and was like, "Do you agree with her?" And like literally everyone was like, "No," like that. And it kind of felt like that sort of judgmental. And I was just there like, "Oh God."
Yeah. And it was so brave to answer, even though you may not have chosen to.
Yeah.
So those things shape us, right? Because that element of humiliation carries shame. And shame is one of the biggest things that holds us back.
Yeah, 100%.
But if we don't, going back to failure, if we don't fail,
we will never learn.
How can we ever get better?
Yeah.
So it's like if you're playing football, right? And you get plenty of opportunities to go for it and put a goal in, but you think, oh God, if I miss that, bloody hell, everyone's going to be this. And you don't do it, then really what are you bringing to your team?
Yeah, exactly.
You'd rather miss.
Yeah, than not try.
Who do you admire the most? What kind of people do you admire?
I don't really have like a specific person. I kind of just admire people who are like really confident in themselves, and who are like really resilient towards literally anything, who like don't give a shit about what anyone has to say or think about them. Like I do really admire like that sort of way of living and stuff, because I just think it's like so brave of them just to like if someone was to say a negative comment to them, and they'd just be like, well, piss off then, I don't care what you think. Like,
and they might actually feel it, but it's about not holding on to it.
And not I guess like I'm not showing the person that they've been affected, so that it makes them feel stupid. Not feeding into their kind of, negativity. Yeah, exactly.
But this resilience, it's something you admire, it's something that you want. Do you believe it's something you're capable of?
Sometimes. I feel like, I don't know, because sometimes like I don't know how to explain it, but like my mood changes all the time. Like sometimes I feel like, oh, I can just do this, like it doesn't matter, and then other times I'll be like, oh no, don't do that. Like
so the imposter syndrome comes in. It says, oh no, Scarlett, you're not doing that. Exactly. You're definitely not good enough to do that.
Yeah.
When you first played football, did you know how to pass properly?
No.
So how did you get to know how to pass properly?
By doing practice.
Yeah, doing it over and over and over again. So being resilient, being kind of brave, and being comfortable with feeling vulnerable is the same principle. It's just a practice.
I think also with because on the day of my GCSE results, I went to get my results and I had my heart set. I was going to this one school.
Oh yeah, she did tell me.
Yeah, and then like we got there and like my expectations were, because I got the conditional offer and everything, and I went for the taster day and everything like that, and then they were like, oh no, we dropped PE, so that's not happening. And I was just like, oh God, what am I gonna do? So then there was like this stress of like, I have no school to go to. I'm gonna just not ever go to school again. Like there's no school that wants me. I don't know what I'm doing, because I just had my heart set on doing PE. And with some schools, like some A levels, like they don't give PE as an option, because like not enough people want to do it. So like we were like searching up schools in Enfield that do PE, and we came across this one school, and it was the school that I'm at now, and we went there on the day of results, and also I was supposed to be going to Reading quite like as early as possible that day as well, and with my friends, so I didn't want to hold them up. I was thinking, oh God, they're gonna think like, oh, you're so annoying, like just
so you're worrying all the time about what other people are thinking, and yet you're going through this huge anxiety of feeling rejected. Did you feel like you weren't good enough?
100%. It was really hard, because it was literally the whole of summer since June to August, I just had
you
my
just
heart
had
set
it,
on.
yeah.
I just thought, oh, these
You
are
thought
the
it was a
subjects.
given.
And then in one day, like
Yeah.
not even a day, like literally a space of 3 hours, I've
Okay.
completely changed my
So
subject.
what has that taught you about yourself? Because I'm hearing loads here.
Yeah.
What has it taught you about you?
I don't know.
Isn't that funny that you can't see, for me, all that's coming through here, Scarlett, is how resilient you are, that you faced all that disappointment and you bounced back, you got it done, you went, right, okay, I'm going to work with 2 subjects that I never intended to study, and you're still giving it your best shot. You faced disappointment head on, that's hard.
Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of tears.
Yeah, of course there would be, but that's normal. You picked yourself up, you shook yourself down, you still went to Reading, okay? You still went, okay, I'm going to carry on, right? It would have been very easy to just crawl under your duvet and not come out for days.
Yeah.
But you didn't. So, yeah, well done, darling.
Thank you.
Yeah, be proud. See, these are the things we have to remember. Rather than think of the things that we feel we don't do or we don't do well enough, we've got to go, well, actually, I did that. That was pretty tough. And I managed to get through that. And then when you've got a few of those little markers, you can reference back to them. It's like when I said to you about feeling anxious. You know, if you know that you can overcome your anxiety, you can then, the next time it hits, you can kind of go, okay, this is familiar, I know what's happening here.
Yeah.
You can have a conversation with yourself and you can kind of go, okay, this is partly how I'm going to feel today or tomorrow. And I have to accept a level of that, but it's not going to take me down because I know I can get through it.
Yeah.
What do you think you've learnt most from experiencing anxiety?
I think, I don't know, because it's like, it's very hard to have, like, because I feel like it's sort of like always there.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of hard to not let it like take over. Because in some situations where like I've been extremely anxious, like I've just completely broken down and just been like, I just can't do this anymore. And like, just, yeah.
Does it feel like as in a panic attack?
Yeah. Those are awful.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. But because I suffer with them quite badly, like the last however, like I think it's like 6 months or whatever, like this from the start of this year, like I had multiple bad like attacks which haven't been easy, because I've always sort of suffered with anxiety, because from like when my mum's been talking about it, like she says like, oh, when you were younger, like you always used to be scared and stuff, like used to be very anxious about things, and I even like had my first ever panic attack when I was like, I think it was like 7, because my sister got lost at our wedding and we couldn't find her. But she's all like, we found her and she's all fine now. But
I know, but it's scary.
Yeah. And then I also had one on a school residential as well, and that was quite embarrassing because like my mum wasn't there, my dad wasn't there, so my teacher had to take me out, and the whole school was walking past me once I was just bawling my eyes out and stuff. So that wasn't so fun, but yeah,
I can relate to that. But you've come out the other side, and even though you know that this is a part of you at the moment, this is a part of how your brain's functioning, and it's actually accepting that anxiety is it's almost part of our lives. It's a part of the way we are. I sometimes attach it to the fact that I'm an emotional person and sensitive, right? So you're sensitive, and I think that's a quality. Okay, so I think we used to be told, before, oh, you're too sensitive, right? And oh, you're too emotional. Well, there's no such thing as too sensitive, and there's no such thing as too emotional. It's just about how we manage that sensitivity and manage those emotions. But we can't help it if we are highly sensitive and highly emotional.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but as we build this knowledge of ourselves, we then learn how to cope with it. But we don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, no.
It's who we are. Yeah. That's what makes you you.
Yeah.
And that's what also makes you compassionate and kind. So, but anxiety when it presents in the debilitating way, like panic attacks, is terrifying. So, have you learnt yet? Because hopefully moving forward you will. But have you learnt any tools? Have you learnt any coping strategies?
I've had a few people tell me like breathing usually works,
Yeah.
like taking, when you feel one coming on, like taking slow breaths. And I can't remember what my mum said, but there was like a special amount of numbers when you like take however many breaths in,
Yeah.
and then.
But you haven't actually practiced breath work yet, no?
Yeah, no.
Right.
No,
Okay.
I haven't really done anything to
Yeah.
sort of like stop it.
I want to give you something that you can take away that's a tool for you, okay? That's something that you can apply. And the more you do it, it's like anything else, the more you do it, the more brilliant you become at it. Breath work is the easiest thing, and it is probably the most effective thing
Yeah.
for calming down it's just tapping into the parasympathetic system. So we'll talk about that after. And there's a brilliant app. So I think with young people, we love an app,
Yeah,
right?
you do.
I'm not young, obviously, but I love an app, right? So an app that guides you.
Yeah.
So you open the app and you haven't got to think about how you're going to do this breath work. This app's going to tell you.
Yeah.
So it's like having a little therapist in your phone.
Pocket therapist.
Yeah, pocket therapist. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to wrap.
Perfect.
I feel quite honoured that you've spent this time with me, having a proper
It's a pleasure.
natter. Yeah, it's just lovely because, we obviously know each other, we've got a lovely rapport, but it's lovely that you've been so honest.
Yes.
And can you give yourself credit, right, for being brave enough to be that honest? Because lots of people wouldn't be able to share on that level.
Yeah.
That takes courage. So you are brave. You have got it in you.
Yes.
So just keep building on that.
I will.
All right.